What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit. Your name's not. This game's Age of Mythology Retold, but we are telling a new story for you in this auspicious of occasions. Spawning in the top of the map in the blue color, playing as Freyr. His name is Magic. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Poseidon, Lord of the Horses. His name is Kimo. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a matchup that goes down in the history of Age of Mythology. Magic was the GOAT while Kimo was coming into his own. Kimo was a really strong player, but Magic had his number. That was an old game. That was Age of Mythology of the Titans. This is a new story to be written. And the players to write that story, the authors of this new novel, are none other than the players themselves, Kimo and Magic. Whoever wins this game has bragging rights forever. Though it is just a random ladder game and nobody really cares. But I care enough to attempt to hype it up for you guys. And we'll see how things are going to go. Relics on the map here. We do have Ulla's bow, giving a little bit of line of sight and maximum range to the ranged soldiers. In the center of the map, we've got the Pelt of Argus, giving an extra 6 line of sight to those units there, and the Canopic Jar of Imseti with the train time minus 25%. Some very, very good relics up the top corner of the map as well. Armor of Achilles. Now, there is no Achilles in this game, so whoever gets his armor is going to be very, very happy. The unfortunate part about Armor of Achilles is it doesn't cover the Achilles now, does it? Not that that matters much in Age of Mythology. No one aims for the foot. So, what are the new things about Poseidon? All right, well, there's not really a whole lot new. Poseidon basically gets the same stuff they got before. He gets the stable, which is cheaper. He gets the Hippias, not cheaper actually. He loses the Hippias being cheaper, but he does get the faster Hippias. Faster Hippias and faster Protomus and faster Myth units. Plus, he's also getting cheaper market, as well as a better buy-sell rate at that market. So there's a lot of stuff going into Poseidon's kit that does make him nice and strong. I'm not a fan of Poseidon, but that's not because he's a strong or a weak god. That's just because I don't like the playstyle associated with Poseidon. I much prefer a much different game than Poseidon offers. You'll notice this with my gameplay. There's certain stuff that I really like doing and certain stuff that I don't. And that's just because I'm not a young whippersnipper anymore. And it's very, very challenging to play these very, very high APM, high control gods. And what I mean by this is I actually quite like multitasking. I like multi-raids. I like doing that. I like catching my opponent out of position and stuff. But with Poseidon and with Zeus as well to some degree, though I can steer away from that technique, you really need Centaur. Centaur with speed. Centaur, a really, really high value unit. Difficult to kill, high damage output, but if you miscontrol them, which I do, they die very easily. So this is actually why I don't like Poseidon. As I finally reveal it, I'm not very good at controlling Centaur, and that's okay. You don't have to be good at everything in a video game. It's not important. It's absolutely not. But we are seeing Freyr coming through for Freyr, as well as Hermes coming through. Let's do a little flipsy on the old scoreboard here because the players are on opposite sides of the map. So, what's the game plan here for Magic? I didn't go over the Magic's kind of bonuses. We've gone over them quite a bit. Freyr is the new Norse god. Gets cheaper upgrades, takes longer to build. He also gets Village's ability to repair. Now, that can't be understated. I've seen this a few times thus far, and I've been like, guys, Freyr can repair. Use Freyr's villages to repair. You don't need to use your army. It's a really, really big bonus, but haven't actually seen it used yet. If you remember to use it, you can actually win a lot of games. Repairing is really, really important in Age of Mythology Retold. Nonetheless, we already see a nice little wall up. I love these walls from Magic. This is such great play. It reminds me of Magyar. Magyar used to do this thing where he would just put one wall down, and that wall would mean everything in the game. And basically what Magic does here is he's just a tiny wall over here. He's got a wall segment over here. He's got a house over here. Kimo's going to be looking for raids, but there's really not a whole lot that he's going to be able to do. We've got double stables coming through as those Hippias are going to be moving across the map. And we'll see how things all result as Magic going to be searching for villagers to kill at the back of the base here. That's a lot of villagers. But Magic has got No idea. He should know that there's giraffes back there somewhere because he's got his own giraffes. You can learn a lot from your own base. But right now we see the Atlanta in hot pursuit of the Valkyrie, and they just high-five each other. They say, "Hey, going, Kimo," and Magic goes, oh, and Kimo goes, "Yeah, not too bad. See you later." Little cheeky Valkyrie raid now going after the villager here. Not going to be able to get any kills just yet. Meanwhile, we see another forest fire early. Great path blocking there from Kimo to keep his villagers alive. As Magic is going to be pushing through, villagers going to be diving into the town center. He does manage to keep those alive, as the Valkyrie will have to get out of here. But Magic, he's done the damage. If I can complain all I want about forest fire and how important it is to just hold it, but that was a significant amount of idle time caused there. So, sure. A decent advantage now for Magic. As Kimo, he's taken a look at the main base. Well, Kimo hasn't. Magic's taken a look at the main base. Double stables. What does that mean? As we see the Valkyrie returning back in here straight away. Going straight after that villager. The villager trying to get a little bit of shanking action. Is the Atlanta going to come through here and push that Valkyrie away? Magic not paying attention there. Oh, he almost got attacked. If Kimo gets the micro, that's really, really big. Meanwhile, onto the front here, we do see Magic. He's under a lot of pressure right now. He's got the Herdman out. He's got the Hearser out as well. And he will be able to push Magic back. Sorry, Kimo. I keep getting these guys confused. Push Kimo back while Magic is going to be getting his town center up. And behind that, Kimo is also going to be going for his own town center. Magic should be perfectly fine, happy, whatever, to be grabbing this town center up. There's nothing wrong with this. Playing 2 town center versus 2 town center in the Greek versus Norse war is not an advantage for either player. I think it's actually probably more of an advantage for the Norse player than anyone else, if I'm completely honest with myself. At least my experience thus far. I can change my mind whenever I feel like, but that's my current running theory, as those Herdmen are just so good at defending against the Hippias raids, and then you've also got the raiding cavalry to go and hit your own raids while defending with a Herdman. It's really, really strong. Anyways, Longhouse is coming down. An Allure does get dropped down for Kimo on top of the town center. Was this his first one or his second one? I think this is his first. No, is that his second? Did he use Allure in his main base? No, he didn't, because he doesn't have one. It doesn't expire, right? So he's dropped the lure here, and we'll see how things are going to go. Meanwhile, units pulling back over here, going to be dropping the armory on this position here, as the Hippias are going to be starting to move into the main base of Magic here. Villagers going to be retreating back. As we do see an armory coming up as well, as the villagers are going to be dropping back into the back giraffes over here. But town centers are up. Kimo likes these positions. Even if I think this technically favors the Norse player, Kimo likes a nice slow boomy game. Magic also likes a nice slow boomy game. The question is really, whose late game is going to be stronger? Whose big, powerful units are going to be stronger in this one? But Magic finishes up with the gold, and he's actually going to decide to jump onto berries here, because he doesn't need any gold at the moment. But this is really, really slow. Compare this over to the villagers on the goats at the moment. 0.95 versus 0.64. So this is a big, big L for Magic at the moment, but it looks like he's attempting to get to the next age. He's not building a single unit. All of his military units are in the main base. He's got the armory up as well. He's getting his armory upgrades. They are dirt cheap, 50-50 and 30-30. In terms of resources there. At the top here, we do see some goats coming in, as we do have some raiding cavalry going for some raids over here. Kimo getting caught out in a big way. No units back here to defend. He's going to lose one villager, if not more, with Magic here having to chase down. The raiding cavalry are really good at chasing. He does see that low HP villager, but he's not going to be able to get onto that one. Better to just go after the last villager there, and he kind of gets greedy, tries to get more. Not going to be able to. Hitting the villagers in the main base here as well. Villagers do decide to turn around. There's one very low HP villager on that position, as the Hippias are going to be coming through to defend. Nice defense here from Kimo. Magic only getting one villager, but does idle the villagers for quite some time. But now Magic is going to be going through Aegir. Excuse me, not Agar, Aegir. And he is going to have a lot going for him very, very shortly. A very, very power move to do in this situation is to try and grab this town center here. Now, he doesn't have to do it now, but at some point, if he can get this town center, this will give him a ghoul and bursty attack that can push in onto this town center over here with the help of Tempest, which is the Aegir heroic age god. very, very strong to make that happen. As the Hippias are going to be searching around for things to kill at the top side of the map here. Meanwhile, on the bottom, Raiding Cavalry checking back at this position. We do see a nice little market getting dropped up. A couple of units are sitting in defense for Kimo, just to make sure he's nice and safe, as we do see Aphrodite coming through, but it's quite a way behind Magic. This is kind of normal in the Greek versus Norse matchup, but it's still a thing. You still have to kind of play around it and see how you can go. Maybe if Kimo macroed better, it would be better, but also Magic could have macroed better and got to the heroic edge a bit faster. These sorts of things are the really like tiny details which you know you can push Age of Mythology that level when you start seeing it at this point from the observer perspective. But just because you know you can get to that level doesn't mean it's easy to get there. As these two players are two of the best players to have ever done it. As the Raiding Cavalry coming through, they're going to get denied. Just getting that scouting information in, making sure he knows where everything is so he can choose where he needs to go. Meanwhile, on the front, we do see a hill fort coming up to protect this gold mine here. And population differential right now, very, very close. But the problem is, when you're close in population to your opponent, as the Poseidon versus the Freyr, you know that you're behind on tech. That tech is coming through. We see medium cavalry, we see shaft mine, we see bronze armor, we see bronze shields, we see bronze weapons. It's all on the way here, ladies and gentlemen. As Kimo going to be dropping down those pigs there. Pigs are going to be retreating away. Magic can try and drag those back into his main base here. He does dive back a little bit, which will force a little bit of fights to come in. It's Tempest going to be getting dropped down onto this position. That drops not only the speed of Magic's units, but also the fire rate. You see it's down to 1.8, which is a heavy loss on DPS. If we take a quick look at it, it goes from 9 down to 5. It's a huge, huge loss there. But Kimo's got ceasefire. He chooses not to use it. Chooses not to use it, wants to hold on to it, takes the damage, retreats back, says it's not that big of a deal, no worries. Magic at this point going to be dropping great hauls down on this position as well. He really wanted those pigs indeed. That they're really, really good. They've got 150 food in them already. Look at the goats. The goats got 266. It's only 100 food difference at this point. That's actually quite a big deal. Plus, they're fattening at 0.31 food a second. It's a huge amount of food to delay farm. So it makes a lot of sense that Magic was fighting over them there. Longhouse coming up for Magic. He's also going to be getting this technology, Granite more. We've been seeing how strong these rock giants are. But against Poseidon, against Greek, they do have the really strong heroes. So it shouldn't be that big of a deal to deal with them, especially when you get Polyphemus out as well, which I'm sure Kimo is going to be very eager to go towards. He's got his fortress up on the front here to defend. We'll see how things are going to go. As the units of Kimo just sitting, waiting, watching houses coming up. In my experience now, I'm starting to work out that mid-game, if I don't have any units back to build houses, just build it with a villager. Yeah, it's going to cost you 20 resources. But this is costing him 40 here. Takes around about 15 to 20 seconds to build a house with a villager. But it's a safe house. Instead, right now, those Petropolis can continue to hit here. And Magic's going to be suffering just a little bit. This is something I decided on my own that I'm going to start doing. Whether it's good or not, I'm not sure. But I think it's better than putting houses on the front. We're going to try and do it at some point. Maybe we'll put a couple of houses on the front. And once we realize it's a terrible idea, we'll start putting with our villagers in our base. Nonetheless, Magic now aiming to push forward. He's got those BERGRISI in on this fight. He's got heavy cavalry trying to push in. He's got a couple onto the back position there. There are a lot of Hypaspis in this army, though, to take out those infantry units. But the BERGRISI are targeting them down, and Kimo has not refocused those units in this fight. And that is going to be a huge advantage for Magic pushing forward as Magic tries to get his raiding cavalry in onto these units here. Managed to take out all of those units on the back. I'll let you know a little on a micro secret here. It's not really important for your raiding cavalry to run in front and then attack move. I don't think that's important. You just let them chase. and they'll get plenty of damage done. If you've got enough raiding cavalry, that is. If you don't have enough, your opponent will be able to kill them before they get any damage done. But Magic is in a commanding position right now. 181 of 190 population now, and he is looking for blood. Kimo's getting buildings down. He's got that gold mine in this position, and finally Kimo says ceasefire. But he's still got to get a lot of resources back in. He doesn't. It's not like this ceasefire is enough for him to get back to population. He can get 2 rounds of units out in this ceasefire, and he's got 6 military barracks with nothing queued up. He's got the archery range with a lot of archers queued up here. Archers are not going to be the way to survive here for Kimo in this game, as we are going to be seeing Vidar coming through, as well as Feasts of Renown as well. I love that tech. I've said it already. It's amazing technology there as the BERGRISI comes through. Going to be taunting those units onto him as the raiding cavalry are onto the back. There are some hoplites here to start shanking or jabbing away there. The Magic still has got the stronger army on this fight, as Kimo is falling very, very fast. We do see another Atlanta out to try and deal with those BERGRISI, but they are just surviving for days. Kimo needs to micro this to kill off the right units here. He could be making some Hypaspits, could be making some Hippias to take out those throwing axemen on the back here. There's more units are on the back there for Magic. He's going to be getting a Talent Center. Like we said, that Talent Center is very important for a Ghoul and Bursty attack, but he doesn't even need it at the moment. He's so far in front. Those Ghoul and Bursty doing so much damage, allowing those thrown axemen to just kind of sit there and survive for ages, as the raiding cavalry now going to start slicing through these units in a big way. And in that moment, Kimo does decide to tap out as Magic claims the victory. GG! Well played by Magic in this one. A really, really solid Freyr game. Gets the Talent Center when he knows he can. I think you've got to be a little bit more one Talent Center orientated in this matchup as Poseidon. I think Poseidon does definitely struggle against the Norse gods though, so I'm not really surprised that this game was challenging here for Kimo, but 2 Talent Center play, maybe it can work, maybe it can't. I would be more orientated towards trying to hit some sort of 2 Talent Center fast mythic here if the Norse player opts into a 2 Talent Center themselves, but I'm not even sure if you're able to get there on a map like this with the gold mines all kind of exposed, so it would be very, very challenging. Nonetheless, solid play here from Magic. Really, really strong showing from him here in this one. If you guys enjoyed this, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.